Hello, hello. I'm just gonna wait a couple more minutes, see if anyone else comes on. Welcome, Kaylee. Welcome, Stacy. All right. Well, I'm not sure. I know a few other people said they were jumping on, but I just will sum up what we're doing. We are just talking about uh, basically how to start your Airbnb online. If you've never put a listing online before, this is how you do it, and you'll literally see exactly how to do it because I'm putting a listing on Airbnb. My property I bought in Gold Bar that I've been working on. So yeah, it's a pretty simple process, but it can seem daunting if you've never done it before. Um, and also just talk about some tips and tricks to get you the best results when you're running it. And a lot of times that can have things about like what are you putting in your rules, or how to manage your pricing, what is it like to be an Airbnb host, stuff like that. So feel free to ask me questions throughout too. You guys are muted right now, but oh, I think I'm supposed to let someone else in. Oh, no, okay. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And if you've Zoomed with me before, you know I always have a million things open on my computer. Let's see. There we go. Oh, I got my computer's being slow, and another person got called into another meeting, so might just be you guys. But they asked for recordings, so FYI, this is being recorded. So fair warning, you'll be famous. Okay, so if you don't have an Airbnb account already, you can create one online. Pretty simple. If you've ever stayed in an Airbnb before, then you already have an account. But I'm going to manage listings here. So this is the button you press to create a new listing. Now, here's existing listings. You can actually, if you have already had one, you can basically duplicate the exact same listing, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start over because I want you guys to see, like that's if you want to keep that and then edit it for a new one. You don't have as much work to do, but we're just going to do it this way. So what kind of place is it? Entire place is like they go in their entrance, they have their space, no one else who's a stranger is allowed in there. Other options, and this is the most popular, other options is a private room in your home or a shared room. This is the least common, least expensive, medium, most popular, gonna get your most money for this. So my listing is the entire place. Also, of course, if you're looking into these options, make sure, you know, with the virus and everything, I wouldn't recommend the shared room for sure at this point, but you can learn about it now and do it later, whatever works for you, depending on what you have. Maybe that was your only option is to do a shared room. Anyhow, guests. So you want to be able to say as many guests as you can stay in the place. So mine is actually a fifth wheel RV, and it can host up to 8 guests. So that goes by beds. So a single bed counts as 1. A queen pull-out bed counts as 2. A bed queen size is 2. King is 2. Single is single, 1. Stuff like that. I do have listings in San Francisco, but this one is Gold Bar. Continue. Choose a property type. So you can, obviously, we know what an apartment is. If it's an apartment, if it's a house, it's a house. Secondary unit, this is usually like if you have a basement that has like a second entrance, that's a really popular way to Airbnb. And you can count that as an entire space because it's a separate entrance. They don't have to go into your other area of your house. Unique space. This is going to be mine because it's not a bed and breakfast. You only want to do this if like you have service like for food and all that. We're not a hotel. So unique spaces is mine because it's an RV. Here we go. But let's go look at those options really quick. So they pretty much give you, they almost have everything down, like even an igloo. That's pretty good. TP, a tent. Tents are not allowed to be rented on Airbnb in the King County. You have to check your regular, like your local laws to see what's allowed. You can ask me for your particular area if you want. Okay, so this is, are you living here and then you're leaving when you have guests come? Like, oh, I'm going on vacation. Let me rent out my place while I'm gone. That means, no, you keep your personal stuff there. But if you're doing this and making an Airbnb for Airbnb and that's it, yes, it's primarily for guests. How many guests can you accommodate? We said 8. How many bedrooms can guests use? There are 2 bedrooms in this. How many beds can guests use? So I have a queen, I have 2 singles, I have 2 other queens, so that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that is including my couches that are pull-outs. So bedroom, here is where you say what belongs where. Bedroom, that's a queen, and then you say done for that one. That's bedroom 1. Bedroom 2 has 2 singles, and that's it. Common spaces, this is my living room, has 2 sofa beds. Okay, 2 queens, so that's 4 people in the living room. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's where I get 8 people. Next, how many bathrooms? 1 for all those people. Let's see here. Street address. I gotta look that up really quick because it's new. Okay. It is 51819 South Riverside Road, Gold Bar. There's none of that for this particular one. There we go. Next. All right. You check, and that's exactly where it is. You can adjust it if you need. Yes, that's right. Here we go. This is kind of like your shopping list. Stuff you want to make sure you have. Every single one of these boxes you check of amenities that you offer is more likely, it's going to give you more people, like more people shopping to stay at your place, basically. Because if they're like, I want air conditioning, if they check that box and you don't have it checked on your listing, they won't even see it. Same thing with every single one of these. If they're like, I want a place with breakfast, coffee, tea, which you can do breakfast bars and oatmeal and coffee and tea, so that they're like dry goods that don't go bad, and then you can check that box and you're good to go. It's pretty minimal, but like as long as you have like your creamers and stuff like that, you should be fine. Cream, sugar. Wi-Fi, huge, probably the second most searched thing. Essentials, if you don't have this, you gotta have that. This does have a TV. You don't have to have all these, but the more you have, like I said, the more audience you will get shopping for your place. The more eyeballs you'll get. This has heat, an iron. I need to get one of those. Shampoo, hair dryer. So I can't tell you how many times I've just taken a picture and been like, okay, I need to remember those things to get. Desk workspace, you pretty much always want to say yes. Is there a table? Okay, you got it. Fireplace, no, can't really change that. But actually, it's a campground, so I'll put a fire pit outside. That's a fireplace. Closet or drawers. You don't have to have both to be able to check this off. Private entrance, yes. You definitely want to make sure you have all of these things. Those are things that every listing can have. So you want to make sure you have those, because some people will just check all the safety stuff and yeah. And then other people will do a search, they'll just look for their dates and they won't pick certain amenities. So you'll come up in all those searches. But like I said, we want to make sure we get as many people as we can to see your listing. What space can guests use? Kitchen. I do not have a washer dryer in this RV. I have laundry stuff, but yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay. Parking, there's no gym, there's no pool, there's gonna be a hot tub. Okay. I'll leave that out for now though, until I get it. Does your space have accessibility features? I'm just gonna skip that right now. Yeah, let's just get through this whole thing so we can get the listing up. So photos, I definitely recommend, if you are actually going to list an Airbnb, get the app, because the app is going to be super helpful. You can go take pictures of the listing with your phone, and then you can put them online from your phone, rather than emailing them to yourself and doing it that way. But for the sake of being able to show you guys, I'll just email myself a photo and use that. But also the other good thing about having the app is that you can get alerts, notifications every time you get a message from a guest. And assuming you guys are all going to do your own hosting rather than paying someone else to host, when you pay someone else to host, like for example me, I host for people for 18%. For a number of people. It's not what I do as my main job, so not like putting that out there like use me. But if you need help though, let me know and I will be glad to just help you. Okay. Found a photo. I'm going to email myself. Let's see. And you can always add in more photos later, and you can add in more descriptions later and everything else. You don't have to do it all right away to get your listing up and going. And like if you need to schedule a booking or you need to get it online right away, that is not necessary to do it all. Let's see here, get that photo, here we go. So I can use this for now and just to show you guys how it works. And then I can add photos or change photos later. Okay. Recents. That's not it. So let's just drag here. Okay. This can be glitchy if you're trying to add too many at once, it won't let you. So keep that in mind. Maybe just do 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. So this is what I'm talking about. You don't have to do all this at once, but you want to put something so you can get it up on the listing. I'll just put glamping paradise in Gold Bar, close to ski slopes, right on the river. So you can add more there, work on your description. That's how many words you have. Your space, you can say anything you want about the space. Master bedroom, loft bedroom for additional guests or kids and 2 queen pull outs in the living. I'll probably get more in depth in that later to be a little flowery with words like gorgeous modern kitchen, da da da. So that's a good place to do that. Your availability. I want to let guests know. Actually, let me go to my listings. So I used to list all these listings, but since Seattle laws have changed, I only have 4 now. So yeah, and here it is. See, it's pending in progress right there. But I wanted to go to just another one and pull some information, and you guys can copy this if you want. So the information I'm wanting to get is your availability. I liked how I worded it here. Where is that? Okay, so I'm actually going to go to the behind the scenes version, not this, because they've changed some settings on me. Let me just go here. Okay, back to listings. Need to get this out of the way for a second. Okay, maybe it's doing that because it's not listed. I'll go to this one. So once you do have it all made, it's going to look like this to you. So you have all these edit buttons. You can edit the photos. You can edit if you're like, oh, I meant to put 2 there or something. And here's all your amenities. You can edit and all these descriptions that we're now working on. So, okay, so this was the wrong one to pick for this, but okay. I'll just say Marissa, that's me. Marissa's super the property as your loyal host. So there we go. That's you know, I'm available here when you need me, but otherwise enjoy your stay. That way, like, people aren't being like, hey, am I gonna get to meet you or whatnot? Or if that's what you prefer, if you prefer a more interactive experience. Most people don't, honestly. Like, that's great, whatever you prefer, but keep in mind most guests don't prefer that. They want to be able to check in, like self check in, be there by themselves, get in, and if they see you, they can be like, oh, hi, like friendly, whatever. But like, most people just want their own space. So keep that in mind. We don't need to put any of these things, but if you're like, oh my gosh, this one coffee shop's so great, and then anything about your transportation, you can add that there. I'll just put this again, glamping at its finest. Gold bar, fifth wheel, eight guests. Nope. People. There we go. I'll probably fuss with that later. But okay, here's your rules. These are important. Suitable for children, yes, but also keep in mind if you have any like stairs or anything, provide one of those safety gates or anything like kids can slip through. If you have kids, you know how to do that. So is it suitable for little babies? You want all these answers to be yes, yes, it's good, it's good. Suitable for pets. Keep in mind your cleaning fees, or if you're doing it yourself, cleaning can be harder when pets are allowed. I'm going to say no, because it's expensive to maintain, and yeah, you can risk a lot of like hair on blanket situations and whatnot. So I'm going to say no for pets. I'm also going to say no for smoking and for parties, even though groups are allowed. It's just easier to do it that way. Because then nobody's going to throw a kegger at your property. But let's go back here. Additional rules. So I wanted to see what I had already. No, that's noted. No, you can add the guest resources to like the Wi-Fi and everything. It's really convenient if it's online. You should also do a guest book inside your Airbnb with that information in there. But it's nice to be online too, because some people just don't see it when it's on the table. You know, if you got people who are internet savvy, they usually find it online, and vice versa. Like if you've got, you know, people who are just more hands-on, they want to know where the house manual is. So that's always a good idea to have. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Okay, I'll just do it from scratch. Okay. Additional rules, you always want to put no smoking of any kind if you want no smoking there. Allowed, and this is where it's up to you. Indoors, no smoking allowed indoors. Are you allowing it outdoors? And if people smoke, they're going to smoke. So if you just say no smoking allowed, they're still going to smoke, but they'll just be like, oh no, it's outside only. So hi. Hey, I'm in a Zoom meeting right now.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. You look lovely.
Thank you.
This is my managing broker, Lorelai. She's fantastic.
Hi. Am I on the camera?
Yeah, I'm just on a live Zoom. So
I'm looking for a lockbox.
I haven't seen any, but
there was one right there.
Go about your business. I'll just keep doing this.
Okay.
Okay, so no smoking allowed of any kind. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to put indoors. And then another thing to always put, by the way, even if it's no smoking, you always want to put one of those like stick smoking poles where somebody can put their cigarette out, you know, because they will smoke anyways, like I said. And if there's not that, what you really don't want that people do is they'll smoke, they'll put it out, and then they're like, well, I can't throw it on the ground. They'll bring it inside and make the place smell like smoke. Like worse than if they just smoked it in there. Like it's the cigarette butts. So we don't want that. And then you'll be like, you were smoking in here, and they'll be like, no, I wasn't. Don't want to go there. So put something that they can dispose of their cigarettes outside, and don't mention it in the rules. Okay, another thing is no parties. I know that we said these things, no parties, no smoking. I'm reiterating that. It really helps out when you get into a situation where somebody takes advantage of the fact that you haven't, you know, that you don't specify that it's just a checkbox and they didn't see it or whatnot. You can be like, no, I put it twice. You threw a kegger. You have to pay for the extra cleaning that this cost me. And Airbnb will back you up with that. It's like easy to press these buttons here and there. What's it called? So I can tell you exactly. It's called when you go to like dispute something and like ask for money from the guest. It's Resolution Center, that's what it's called. And you can just get that from going to the search bar in Airbnb in your account and putting Resolution Center, and it will take you there. You find the guest's name and you put in what happened. You can add photos and receipts or anything like that and say, hey, I want to be reimbursed for this. Or if they stole something. But with that said, if your sheets get stained over time or something, that's on you. Don't try and charge the people for it. But at the same time, if they like turned the whole thing blue when it was white, it's a little, you know, I'll leave that one up to you. Okay, other rules. I'm going to put no pets indoors. Because we did say no pets. But I don't want someone to feel like they can't have a visitor who has their dog or something, because it's a beautiful outdoor area. Anyways, let's see what else. This is an important one. So insurance is a really tough thing with an Airbnb, because if you have insurance, it's like, well, it doesn't really cover your guests getting hurt. So we have 10 minutes left. It doesn't cover your guests getting hurt. So I like to always say in your rules, something like this. By booking this Airbnb rental, you agree that any injury, what's that word, acquired? Injury, I'll just say occurring, I might change that word. How do you spell that? Okay, I'll figure that out. Chime in if you want to tell me how to spell occurring. Let's see. On the property is at your, I have this worded so well on the other one. Darn, let me see. Let's see this one. Listing details. It's not in there. It's not going to be regulations. Those are like city things, or like how long your stay can be. And okay, I'm gonna run out of time, so I'll just skip that for now. But you get the gist. Like, you make sure that legally you're not going to be held responsible for anybody that's going to be injured on your property. So we can work on that wording later if you want. But I'll just keep going. Let's see. By booking this Airbnb rental, you agree that any injury you have on property. This is not the way this should be said. That needs to be reworded, absolutely. But you get the gist. Okay. That's pretty much, quiet hours. Yeah, that's another one. And if you want no shoes in, 10 p.m. is after hours. Please respect our neighbors. You always want to say something about respecting the neighbors. Please respect our neighbors with your volume after this time. If you feel like that's too late, then say earlier. Must climb stairs. Yes. Potential for noise. Yes. Pets live on property. No. No parking on property. That's not true. Some spaces are shared, not at mine. Amenity limitations. I don't have any surveillance or recording devices on property. If that's true, you want to say, will turn off during your stay. Ask if you would like this confirmation. That's to make people not feel nervous, but my particular unit here is out in the boonies and I don't want any squatters, so I will have cameras on the outside only. It's weird to put them on the inside. Don't put them on the inside of the listing because, I mean, people could walk around naked, but they should be allowed to do that if they want. They booked it. So anyways, weapons on property, no. Dangerous animals on property, no. Next, and we probably just have a few minutes. There are our rules. Okay, next. Instabook is the number one thing you want to have um, in order to get the most guests. You will get rid of the majority of people looking online if you don't have Instabook. But if you don't have Instabook, then nobody can book until you look at their message and say if you allow them or don't to book. But think about this. When you book a plane ticket, when you book a hotel, do you want to send a message and wait till who knows when to get that approved? No, you want to find something that lets you do it right then. So people will click Instabook only and search only for ones that have Instabook. Okay, this is just promising you'll do your job as a host, basically. Making sure you don't have it open on a calendar if your parents are staying there or something. 2 questions to get started with your settings. I'm new to this. You'd put I'm new to this if you are. How often do you want to have guests? I want to have them as often as possible, but I can still block my calendar when I don't want them there. Do you want to connect another calendar? I do not, because I don't do VRBO or anything else because they take more of a percentage, especially booking.com. They're absolutely terrible. They take way too much money and they have the worst service ever. And they try and do your job for you and they don't even know how to do it. It's terrible. Totally don't recommend them. VRBO is not bad though. If you want to sync those calendars, you can ask me about that, but I recommend Airbnb. Sometimes different locations like Cle Elum or places like that will have where VRBO works better because that's just what people use to search. Here I'm going to block this month because my place is not ready. I'm just getting the listing ready online. Sure, they're using these tips for my pricing. By the way, it depends on where you are, depends on how many like what the tourism is like there and everything, but you can make, like, let's say, Kaylee, let's say you're renting your place for the year. Let's say your monthly income for that is $1,500. Well, if you use Airbnb, you could get 2 to 3 to 4 times that. I'd say for your location, Kaylee, it'd probably be 2.5 times what you would get by just doing it without Airbnb and just doing a year annual lease. Let's say that's good. You can go with the recommendations at first. I am not adding any special offers at this point. 20% off is recommended. Oh, for the first guest, sorry. I thought that was for the monthly discount. Yes, that's fabulous. Very important to have a good first impression. I don't want to do week or month discounts at this point because I'm trying to get those short-term rentals, which are the best money payers. I have less than a minute. Oh my gosh. Next. Okay. This is funny. All right. We're almost done. Ready to publish. Publish listing. We did it. All right. Thanks, guys. And it's going to cut us off. So let me know if you have any questions. 702-370-9633. Thanks for jumping on with me. Have a good day.